Hey guys, happy Wednesday to you. It is so good to be here with you. And I do recognize that, I don't know, my system is lagging today somehow. But it's good to be here with you. So welcome everyone. If this is your first time, very special welcome. If you've always been here on a Wednesday at this time, welcome again to you. It is such a blessing to share this moment with you. This is what we do right here every Wednesday at 4:30 Eastern Time. And here we just empower, encourage, and inspire each other in the Lord. So I'm so grateful for you today. And maybe you're having the reflection of the lag going on. I think I can see that from my system. I hope that it will flow through. Drop it in the chat. Let me know if you are hearing me, if it looks like it's lagging, what's going on there. Help me to figure out if you are able to stay current with what I'm sharing and what is going on. It looks like it is lagging on my end, so it may just be my system. I don't know. But welcome. It is good to be here. Bear with me as I go through this one today and see how best we can get through this. So I'm looking to hear from you guys. Welcome. I can see you joining. Okay, I see you, Tash. Yes, let me know if it's lagging. Let me know if you are hearing how it's going. I see a lot of lagging on my end, so it may just be my system, but you can let me know so I'm looking at the comments, checking to see what you're saying. I see you, Minister Donna. I see you, Sister Peter Gay. Wow, I see you, Sister Shika. So hello, everyone. I am checking. I'm waiting to see if you guys are getting a lagging, that kind of slowness from the feed. That's what I'm seeing on my system. But again, it could just be my system. So let me hear how it's going. Oh, hi, Janice. So good to see you. Okay, nobody's dropping any lagging comment yet, so maybe it is working for you guys. It is so distracting for me with all that is happening with it. But you know what? I'm going to take it as a cue that you are okay. Yes, it's slow. No lagging for Janice. Awesome. All right. So maybe it's slow because of my system, or I don't know. Is it a Canadian FB issue right now? Because it's slow for us here. At least this is slow today. I'm seeing that. Even my reflection kind of is giving this little slow dance. But you know what? Jamaica is having a good time and hearing me. I'm just gonna go with it and trust that you have to stay with me and help me drop those things in the chat, because it is so slow that I'm not sure it will hit the mark when I try to do that, or I may just lose you guys. But welcome. Okay, it's breaking up, so it's not just a Canada thing. All right. Thanks for that, Christine. So good to see you. Uh, we're going to try to navigate this one today, and we're trusting God that it will work through, that the word will go forth. So I want to just remind you always of two things: that on Thursday nights we have our Bible study in the healing room. We have that at Haven of Healing Ministries. And I'm trying to drop that in the chat, but everything is just lagging so badly on my end that it may happen or not happen. But we will see how that works. So havenofhealingministries.com, that's the website. And you want to be able to go there and to click that link for the Bible study if you don't already have access to that link. And you can join from there at 6:30 p.m. every Thursday night. We do that. It is so wonderful to be in that room. We just really just share the word of God. There are no judgments there. Everybody is just interactive, and we make it just safe and exciting, and everyone can share, from our oldest to our youngest. So I'm still navigating, dropping that chat. And I see Tash saying, yes. Okay, so you're hearing me well. Here's the link. So I'm hoping that that link will eventually make its way in the chat as well, so that you can join us on Thursday nights. We also have our weekend service on Saturday nights in the healing room. You want to be there. You want to be there to share with us in worship, in the prayer, in the word, in the fellowship. I love the fellowship piece after. This is where we connect and we just interact. We just talk about the impact of the word, and we welcome those who are new, and it's a really lovely space and place to be. So we invite you to that as well. Today we're going to be sharing from Psalm 39. And so those of you listening, I know, Donna, I know you're so good for this, to drop that in the chat for me, because my system is obviously not cooperating with me today. So I'm going to trust all of you listeners to drop it on so that those who join after can hear where we're sharing from, and those who probably will watch this later will also likely have the text. So it's Psalm 39 verses 1 to 4. And I wanted to just read it from the scripture here that I have. I actually have I'm bringing up the NLT. So I said to myself, I will watch what I do and not sin in what I say. I will hold my tongue when the ungodly are around me. But as I stood there in silence, not even speaking of good things, the turmoil within me grew worse. The more I thought about it, the hotter I got, igniting a fire of words. Lord, remind me how brief my time on earth will be. Remind me that my days are numbered, how fleeting my life is. And I like verse 5. I didn't have it to share in this today, but in this version, it just says it so well. You have made my life no longer than the width of my hand. And that just says a lot about, how short our lives are, how short our time is in comparison to so many things that we probably feel we have all this time in the world. But where am I going with that? This was not the word I had planned to share today, actually. Totally different word was on my heart, and I had that considered. Got up this morning so early because I woke up early, not understanding why I was feeling some level of anxiety. I know I have a lot going on, lots on my plate, but for some reason I woke up, which is not the norm for me. I usually sleep through and I'm not disturbed by those things, but somehow in my sleep, I awoke being very aware of the number of things that I needed to attend to or make decisions on or work through. And I wondered, why was this today feeling so much like high anxiety? And I was very aware of that. Of course, in my line of work too, I'm really very aware of anxiety-provoking thoughts, and always try to use appropriate coping skills in the moment. But somehow this morning, so early, I thought, what is going on? Why do I wake up having these thoughts before me? These are things I normally would just list, put down, deadlines, dates, get these done, sort them out. And somehow that thought, because of the space I woke up in and was so uncomfortable with it, I began to search the Lord and to just search him in his word. And as I opened the scriptures, this psalm came back to mind. I didn't open for this. I was reading other things. And then I remembered this word in Psalm 39, and it somehow brought such a peace and a comfort to my spirit. I thought I have to share this word with you guys today, because it just gave me this, as a theme I have put down in here, that focus. Stay focused on what's really important. Stay focused on what's really important. And there are many things that are happening around us. So many things. We get drawn into myriads of life's craziness. Or personal lives or professional lives, social lives, it's everywhere. We are even sucked into issues that are just drama, plain drama. And sometimes they shouldn't even concern us. and we get drawn into them. And many of us find ourselves carrying a lot or not even being aware. Subconsciously, it's there. And I figure that probably was what just happened with me, waking up so early from 4 this morning and not being able to go back to sleep, processing all these things and situations. And there's a great lesson. There's a great lesson to learn from this story from David in the Psalm. And that was one I learned this morning. And I thought I'd share that with you. As I read these 4 verses especially, I realized how important it was in David's situation to lay this out, to understand where he was in his life, to get a grip on the true meaning of his life and the worth of that life. And 3 things jumped out of me from these 4 verses. The first thing I saw in it was, you need to choose your fight. You need to choose your fight. David started out in saying, I am determined to watch my step and my tongue. Now, 2 things, right? In that one line. I am going to choose my fight in such a way that I will watch my step. I'm going to watch what I do, where I go, just how I maneuver my life, how I carry on. And I'm going to watch my tongue. And this, he says, so that I won't feel any sense of shame for how I walk before him, for how I walk before God, and the things that I say before him. Choose your fight. You are walking, we are walking before our God, before him. And we ought to choose and be careful of where we go and of what we say. The things we speak over our lives, the places we find ourselves going to. Be careful. The people that you engage in, the hours you spend in the company of some persons, that is a fight you shouldn't choose. Those are things and people that you probably should not even be around in this season of your life. Be careful about what you are doing and the fight that you are choosing. Some of us spend times belaboring some things that make us tired when it was unnecessary. Unnecessary battles, unnecessary fights, unnecessary crowds and drama and things that are not relevant in this season of your life. And you have to know, only you can know in this season, because sometimes when you leave that context, that room, that space, that call, that setting, whatever it is, you know, oh my God, I just wasted 5 hours doing what? I did not belong there. I did not belong there. And it's important that we redeem the time in those ways as believers. Hear what David was experiencing, because this just got me. He was literally saying to the believers, in a song this was, and he's saying, you can control your fight. You can control it. And so for David, he says that I am determined to watch what I do and what I say. So when anxieties come around us, like, you know, as I read this word and I thought about how how anxious I was, how the anxiety was high for me, even in that moment. And I thought, where's this coming from? What happened here? As I processed that, I thought, choose your battles, narrow down your things, work through the issues that probably you don't need to take on. The circumstances, sometimes the drama that comes on you vicariously from other places. Pay attention. That's really the message, and choose your fight well. Choose your fight well. Hear what he says, not just to choose your fight. Choose your weapon. And that got me, because the latter part of verse 1, right to verse 2, he says, I decided to hold my tongue as long as the wicked was in the room. This is what he says. I will hold my tongue when the ungodly are around me. I will hold my tongue when the wicked is in the room. And he said, mum's the word. Nothing. Seal and sign. I will hold my tongue. Keep quiet. Some conversations you don't need to have. Some conversations you have in some spaces and places, you don't need to have that. That's not for you in this season. And we're going to understand why David is saying all of this. He says that it's basically, I'm going to remain silent in this space because I sense the presence of the ungodly, and I am committing myself to hold my tongue and not add to this. This fight I don't need in this moment, so I will remain silent. But it is a hard thing to do. It is such a hard thing to do sometimes in the moment, because many times that is a fight that we want to defend ourselves in. Many times it is a fight where someone's berating you and demeaning you, and you want to defend yourself. You want to answer. You want to give them just 2 words of God, as somebody would say. You want to defend yourself. You want to defend your character. You want to defend just who you are and to keep them from defaming your name. But David, caught in a similar situation, in a room with the enemies or people that he did not need in that season, he said, I'm going to be silent. But what got him to get to this place is that he said, the more I told myself, I'm not going to say anything, I'm going to bite my lips, I'm not going to answer today, it was the more that he felt like he was going to explode. He said that it was like fire in me. I was getting hotter and hotter. I felt like I was burning up. And sometimes we get drawn into situations, even electronic bullying. You know, you wake up and people send you some text that just hurt your head. The threats, the mean things that they might say of you. See, some persons, it's through an email. A lot of electronic bullying is going on these days. Some persons, it's the call and the voice message that they left, the voice note that they left. There's so many things that are existing around us. David says, when the enemy's in the room, I'm going to be silent, but it is hard, God. I'm choosing my weapon of silence, but it is so hard. So then he said, when it got to the place where I felt like I was going to explode, hear what he did. He said, I opened my mouth and I spoke. My thoughts and my guts boiled over, so I finally released my tongue. But I didn't release it to man. I released it to God. Isn't that something? In that point, I want to say to you, win your war. Win the war. You can choose your fight, you can choose your weapon, and you can win the war. Because the war is not with the person in that room with you. The war is going to be you belting out, pouring out, spilling your gut to Almighty God of the things that you are concerned about. And this word gave me so much peace, because in this moment, David asked the Lord 3 things. He said, make me to know my end. Make me to know my end. Help me, Lord. Tell me what I'm with, what I'm working with in this moment. What is it worth in this moment? Choose your fights wisely. What is it worth? Some of the battles that you're having, some of the fights that you're engaged in, is it a good fight? Is it worth the fight? Some of the people that you're in the room with who are killing you, they want you out of the boardroom. They want you out of the job. They want you out of the home. They want you out of the space. They want you out of the friendship. Is it worth it? Is it worth the fight? David said, I am boiling over just trying to stay silent because it's hard. So hear this. He says, just tell me, is it worth it? Tell me how much longer I have left. This is what he says. What is the measure of my days? What's the measure? Show me how to pick a good fight. Because based on the time I have left, it will be important to know if this fight will be necessary. Should I be taking this on? Is this something I should really try to defend myself with? Is this person someone I should be even having this issue with right now? Pick your battles wisely. Don't sweat the small stuff. And the only way we can understand that is when you know your days, is when you know the worth and the measure of your days. So he says, Lord, just show me. Help me to know what's important for me to do so I can work backwards and know that this fight is not worth it in the moment. So he says, make me to know my end, the first thing. Teach me how to measure my days. And the next thing he said, that I may know how frail I am. We are frail human beings. We have weaknesses and flaws. We mess up. Oh, we get tired, we get anxious, we get depressed, we get sad. Oh, weaknesses are ever before us. He says, I want to know what I have left, what time I have left to live, so I don't waste time on things that don't matter or on people that don't matter. Oh my God. And that includes some empty barrel bullies that are around you. They don't matter. They don't matter. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. That includes some situations and things that might be forced upon you that you don't need to take on in this moment. So keep focused on what's really important. Ask yourself, is this important? I remember in high school we used to ask ourselves a lot about that. How does this affect the price of cheese? When you kind of want to say if something really matters or not. Just ask yourself, how does this affect my life? What is the purpose of this in my life? Is it worth this fight? Is it worth this argument? Is it worth taking on this person? Is it worth worrying about this particular thing at this time? Focus on what's really important, because you can choose your fight. You can control your fight. And you can choose the weapon. Don't say a thing. Sometimes you don't need to engage it. Just let it go. Let it go. I know we want to defend ourselves. I know it can feel hot, it's painful, it burns. You feel like fire in you when you can't tell somebody something to protect your own image. And that's where David found himself. But before he answered, when he was overcome by this, he spoke, but he spoke to God. He said, help me to understand that I don't have all the time in the world here. I'm on a mission here for you. So help me to get it. Help me to understand. Just give it to me. Just tell me how long I have here to live, because I want to make my days count. I want to make, if I can count my days, I want to make them count. So I will get it. And I will choose to not sweat the things that really don't matter, or the people that really don't matter. So today, as you go through your own day, as you go through your own bout of anxieties and worries and concerns and challenges, and maybe, those deep, dark days, stay focused. Stay focused on what's important. What is important? And your faith is. Your faith is. Don't lose it because of any boss, any co-worker, any husband, wife, child, neighbor. Don't lose it. Worse, not because of an enemy. Don't lose that faith. It was a position Nehemiah found himself as he tried to walk in that purpose of rebuilding the wall for Jerusalem. That was his purpose in that season. And Sanballat and Tobiah sent him word. Oh, it's not going to happen. You need to come down. We need to have a meeting right now. Nehemiah said, I have an assignment for this. There's a timeline I'm working on for this. I don't have all the time in the world. Why should I come down to you when I'm doing a great work up here? Why should I? So I invite you, my friends, brothers, sisters, don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small people. Don't waste time on things that don't matter. You are on a mission in a season of your life for something. You're doing a great work. Just keeping your faith, your tongue, keeping silence is a great work, because it takes a lot from you to do that. You're doing a great work. Don't come down. Don't come down to anybody's level. so that they mess up the work that you're doing, because God is doing something in you through that work. So Nehemiah said, why should I come down to you? It's a waste of time. David said it of his enemies. He said, just help me to focus on what's really important. So I want you to get that today. Stay focused. Keep your eyes fixed on what's important in your life. Not everything that's happening is expedient. Some things you don't need to even get yourself mixed up in. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Pour out your distress when it boils up inside to God, and He will keep you focused on only the things that matter. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here today. Despite the lagging, despite the slowness, despite the issues, I pray that you got the word today, and I look forward to seeing you in the Haven of Healing Ministries. It's on our website. Check the website, havenofhealingministries.com. There's a link for our Bible study on Thursday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It would be so amazing and wonderful just to have you join us. If not, we'll see you on the weekend, Saturday night at 7 p.m. in the Healing Room. The link is also on that same website to join us at 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for making this be your place today. God bless you. May His peace be within your walls and His prosperity within your gates. Peace.